couple seconds first.
Hopefully we edited this out.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
Oh yeah.
So, we're ready to start this shit?
Let's do it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to issue 2 of the Only Nerdy Dads podcast. I am your host, Matthew Westlake. Joined with me today is
Patrick Shepard.
All right. So, you just came back from Universal.
I did.
Like 20 minutes ago.
Close. It was about 12 hours ago.
Well, might as well have been 20 minutes ago. Anyways, how was the trip?
Fun. First place we went to, Dr. Seuss Land.
Oh, should have been. Easy.
No, we made our way around to Marvel, and that's where I spent most of my time. So, like all of us went, Katie, Jackson, Bergen, and Evie, and then myself. So we let them go do their own thing. we ended up buying the premium pass.
Mm-hmm. So
we had like unlimited rides and the VIP lines and all that kind of stuff. So we went through. First thing my son did in Marvel, met Spider-Man.
As he should have.
As he should have. So he got a picture with Spider-Man. He signed it. Then we went around. He found Rogue, Storm, Wolverine, Captain America. But sadly, no Deadpool.
Will we see him there, or will we see him in Disney first?
It would make more sense to see him in Universal, though.
He's never been owned by Universal.
I mean, but Marvel is there.
Right. Not for much longer.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. They're probably going to open up their own theme park.
Oh, yeah, they will. It'll be a fun thing.
But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We ended up having like an hour rain delay. But it's Florida weather. But at the end of the day, we got our money's worth.
Hey, man, that's all that really matters, especially making the trek down to Florida.
Speaking of which, remind me later to show you the video of when Jackson met the raptor. The rapper. Rapper.
All right, so.
We'll just throw it into the video.
Yeah, it just is random rapper coming across the screen. So, all right.
Ice Cube. Dude, no, gotta tell you a story. On the way down there, he rode with his Mimi.
Okay.
No, I take that back. Where they met Jacksonville. Sometime he rode with him. I forget. It was when the first day we were going to the beach. Sorry. Anyway, she's been introducing him to like all the old music and stuff. She introduced him to Tone Loc. I swear to God. So a couple days go by, we're somewhere, we're sitting down, and we're having ice cream. That's what it was. We all went to go have ice cream. We're sitting down, and he's eating his ice cream, and he says, "Give me $50 to make you holler." And everybody just went, "What?"
That's so great. That's so great.
That kid's got such a character.
That's awesome.
So, speaking of characters,
issue number 2, we're here to talk about everybody's favorite Merc with a mouth. Well, you know what? I'm going to take that back, because he wasn't everybody's favorite Merc with a mouth until probably about 10 years ago, maybe
something like that.
Like, I think that's when his popularity really started to spike. But everybody, all the hipsters will say, "Oh, I liked him before he was cool."
So that's what they say about a lot of things.
Oh yeah, but you know how it is.
So let's talk Deadpool.
Let's talk about Marvel's Deadpool.
So, wait, hold on. What the hell are you doing, man?
What? It's Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, he's green.
Oh, and it's CG. Crap.
All right.
Sorry. Marvel's Deadpool.
All right, Deadpool. So once again, Slade Wilson.
It's Wade Wilson.
No, I'm pretty sure that's where they got the idea from.
Marvel's Deadpool.
I just got to check, man.
Go ahead.
You even screwed this up like 3 times.
What are you talking about? It's the same thing. Never mind. All right.
Wait, Deadpool.
Wade Wilson.
Deadpool. He was at Marvel. So he was at Marvel. He made an appearance.
But he wasn't at Universal.
No, that is Universal.
Anyways. Everybody's favorite Merc with a mouth.
Deadpool. So let's talk Deadpool. How was Deadpool created?
Well, he was originally created as Rob Liefeld had a really huge liking for the Teen Titans.
Yes, he did.
And he built that character, oddly enough, to almost resemble Slade. The writer,
no, it wasn't to resemble him. It was
to be him.
Yeah. Let's be real.
All right. With that being said, the writer Fabian,
somewhere around there. We'll retcon that later,
probably. But he's the one who actually gave Wade his voice. He's the real reason why we have Wade Wilson as we have him now.
Well, and it's also funny too because when Liefeld pitched the idea to him, he read everything about it, and he's like, "Dude, this is Slade Wilson."
Yeah, it's Deathstroke.
Yeah, and because he knew his background and everything. So they went with it, and we got Deadpool in issue 98.
Yep,
New
Mutants. Yep, the one of the most sought after books right now. Still,
well, I mean, yeah, thanks to Ryan Reynolds, aka Green Lantern.
Still one of his best movies. Okay, what do you say?
So I do want to point this out. Our PC is here. Our producer Cody, he's here, or AKA Sugar Bear,
AKA Cowboy Cody.
Cowboy Cody. So he's here today. So he might chime in here and there. But he
fact check us.
Yeah. Fact check us. Exactly. Hold up little cue cards. Guys, stop talking.
That's not gonna listen. Anyways, but yeah, he's started off in his original solo run. He got a 4-issue solo run.
But no, he got New Mutants.
Well, but he got, after New Mutants, he got a solo run.
Well, correct. But I think it's important to note that the reason he was brought into New Mutants, because he was brought in to be a nemesis for
Cable.
Exactly. So they had their back and forth and all that stuff, and then people started to like him, so they started to put more and more out of him. Then they came out with the miniseries. Continue.
No, I was just saying, he got it. He actually got 2 miniseries. He got the original Deadpool arc, which is the one we have here, and then he got a Circle of Life. And Circle of Life was another 4-parter.
Is this the first one or the second one?
This is the first one.
Is it?
Yep. All new.
Yep. Fair enough. First one.
Yep.
That's mine.
Then after that, he got an actual absolute solo run. And the bad thing about Deadpool's history is it's so convoluted. It constantly retcons itself. He not only because of the fact that the guy has a teleporter and he can slide through time at different dimensions. And then of course, Cable ends up getting one, and when they have their miniseries, they end up bonding DNA at some point, and anytime one slides, the other one slides.
Oh yeah.
So, but
that whole thing. But before we get off of that, let's talk about his origin. So talking about because I know that was all retcon. Like we said, they came out with a story and they were like, "Oh crap, people like this character. We need to go back and create something as to how he even became." Right. It's kind of like what happened with Wolverine, which oddly enough is issue number 3.
Yeah.
Oddly enough,
that was strategically placed.
So he grew up. He was. Here's another question. We're gonna have to compare the comics and the movies. I know.
We'll have fun with that one.
Yeah, I know, right? Because there's gonna be differences, but that can make this video 14 hours long. But there's gonna be. We'll talk about the differences, just vaguely. So, for instance, comic book. He grew up. His dad was in the army, I believe. He learned how to fight growing up, and then he became a mercenary before he found out he had cancer. Yep. Movies. He was part of the special forces. So then it kind of follows the same thing. He gets cancer, and then he goes into the Weapon X program, bonds with that, and then it accelerates his tumors, right? Which is why he gets his grotesque look, his avocado look, and from there, he was sent to another facility to die, essentially, because his healing factor and we need to talk about his powers and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But his healing factor started slow. It didn't manifest itself to like what we know today until later.
Right.
Similar to the movies, they put him into the program. That whole thing was kind of weird. Yes, I watched the movies.
Yeah.
Obviously. And the differences between it is you have like that was the main nemesis of the first movie, whereas
Ajax,
yeah,
who was just a side character actually in the books. He wasn't even really a big pivotal role.
what that happened, side character,
Side character.
literally a side character. But and that's what happens. Like the most famous characters, it seems like, are side characters, and then people are like, "Oh, I want more." So then they start building these backstories, and people love them. But like, okay, so he gets sent off over here to die, and there is a Deadpool. It's literally that's what they're called. Who's going to die off first, and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And
Taking
that's
bets.
where, yeah, exactly. In the movies, it's different. Like the workers in the facility, the staff, are the ones putting in the Deadpool. And in the movies, it's the bar.
Right. All the mercenaries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But same premise nonetheless. They everything, like I said, everything like Wade is there. He's ready to die. He meets this guy. They become best friends, and then that guy ends up dying, and that's what really set him off in the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, he just he branches out, and now we know where we're at.
Right.
They briefly show that guy in the movie.
Yeah, for like 3 seconds, right?
Yeah. They have like one funny conversation, and then he sees him burning.
Yep.
So it's the reason they went after like him in the first place, because says him and Wade were friends. So they ended up killing him off.
Yeah, gives a little bit of a kick in the pants for Wade to do what he needed to do.
Yep. So let's talk powers. Healing factor
can be reduced to dust, and his healing factor will regenerate it.
It's it's funny too, because I don't even know if Wolverine has that.
He got his healing factor from Logan.
Yes, correct.
So I would think that what he's gonna do, or how his power is enhanced throughout that time, is based because of Wolverine's, the ability, his healing factor. Because he even, so long that there's remotely a little bit of DNA remaining, he can regenerate.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I know like the leading thing, like before that, it was basically as long as his head gets attached back to his body, he can regenerate from anything.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on which series, it's how fast it grows back and all that kind of fun stuff.
Right.
But
baby hand in the movie.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with baby hand.
We got to keep this PG.
Yes, sir.
PG.
Yes, sir.
But so we've got, of course, we have his healing factor.
Yep.
His ability to break the fourth wall.
Yep. Is that a skill though?
It's a mutant ability.
Fair enough.
She-Hulk has it.
Fair enough.
Then of course he has, I wouldn't say superhuman strength, but he's got enhanced abilities.
Oh, for sure.
And yeah, that's really about it. I mean, he doesn't need to be able to do much else.
I mean,
he's an expert marksman.
I was going to say gunplay, swordplay. Mm-hmm. He's got the weapons down, which is funny too, because Liefeld, when he created him, he said that he wanted to make a character with guns.
Yeah,
and stuff, because and that came from the G.I. Joe. I think it was Snake Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Was the inspiration behind all of that. So a lot of inspiration from Deadpool. But Deadpool has also inspired a lot since then. Producer Cody Sugar Bear has informed us that we were incorrect.
Oh, were we?
Yes.
Okay.
First retcon. So this is actually the second series.
Is that the second series?
Yep. There was the first one in 92, 3?
Was that circle of that was okay? So I hadn't flip flopped.
Yeah, and then this.
I told you I was winging it.
Ah, no worries. That's what we do here. It's just value entertainment.
Yeah.
A little bit of facts here and there.
Yeah, sprinkled in.
Yeah.
Chime in one time. In the first Deadpool, there's an Easter egg. If you go back and watch it, where they're about to inject Wade,
Mhm.
if you stop with a needle, you'll actually see Wolverine's blood, DNA floating in it. That gives him his regenerative powers.
How do you know it's his DNA?
How can you see his DNA?
It
Little
looks like
Wolverine
white
heads?
gloss.
Little Wolverine masks floating
I
around.
was going to say, it's just Hugh Jackman's head. They're floating around.
Oh my God! I hope they do that.
There's a YouTube video just like that.
Is it really?
Yeah, but it's actually big white blobs.
Huh.
And you're supposed to like see it fight the blood. And because he even referenced Wolverine when they're good doing that, he's spouting off names, actually reference Wolverine.
I need to rewatch this movie.
Yeah, I didn't. I missed a lot of it.
Never caught that part.
I watched the whole thing.
I did too.
I just missed some parts apparently.
Yeah, me too.
You always do in the first time you watch it anyway.
Very true. So, speaking of Wolverine,
Yeah.
you know, we have the Wolverine and Deadpool relationship.
Yep.
We've got Deadpool and Spider-Man.
Yep.
And then we have Deadpool and Cable.
Yep.
Those are pretty much like the three guys that he does probably the most work with.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy has a ridiculous amount of respect for Captain America.
I mean, makes sense. I do too.
One of the only heroes he wouldn't like fully attack was Cap because of his amount of respect for him.
And we'll get to that in a second because we all know where that's going.
Yeah.
But real quick, gonna jump back. The team that Deadpool was responsible for starting.
X-Force. Well, he rebrands them to X-Force.
Correct. Cable started it, right? Cable started it. He rebrands them. But it's funny because going back to what we were talking about, how they're side characters.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you think of Deadpool, you think of X-Force. But he didn't start that way.
Mm.
Same thing with Wolverine. When you think of Wolverine, you think X-Men. But he didn't start that way.
Right.
So they both started as villains, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Became anti-heroes and then became favorites. It's a recurring theme here.
Very much so. I don't know if I like it.
So we're gonna create characters and we're gonna like create our own comic book and we'll start them out as all villains.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden we'll just somehow or another like
They'll become
everybody, just like
heroes.
yeah,
By accident.
sheer coincidence.
Yeah.
Sheer hands.
Let's do it. So continuing on the way we were saying, different series that he's been in. I think it was 98 when he got his own like his own
Cowboy
title.
Cody.
I think it was
You want to
98.
get a fact check on that one?
So he gets it's later. It's much later. Like he does a bunch of appearances. He's in other teams and all that kind of stuff. And it's not till much later that he got his own series.
Right.
And it's like ongoing now.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think they're volume 7 or 8 right now, something like that.
Yeah, once they start going into the volumes,
Well, it's just for time era.
time era, but the way they start over. It's like number 1, Deadpool number 1, but it's only this like volume 1, and then here's number 1 is volume 2. And that case in point, we got
Very
it backwards.
True. Very true.
97. I was close, somewhere around there. Yeah. So the timeline. So he goes up. He 97. He starts his own series, goes along, and then we get Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, which is to me, out of all the Deadpool stuff, is the most interesting one.
I think it's the one that probably played to the character's strengths the most.
Well, fourth wall.
Mm-hmm.
He realizes he's a spoiler alert. He knows that he's a comic book character. Fourth wall is that he knows he's a comic book character. He knows people are reading. He's turning to he's got his own little bubble for it. But in Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, he starts believing. I forget what happened to make him start believing, but He thinks the only way to save the Marvel Universe is to kill all the characters off. He believes that by him killing them, he's saving them from having to live this life and be a puppet forever. So that's what he does. He starts going, he starts killing them all. And it's funny you bring up Captain America because he took him out too.
Yeah.
He took
And
them
it
all
was,
out.
but that was one of the harder kills that he does. He doesn't hesitate, but he almost hesitates in the moment that he kills Cap, and it's just out of respect.
Well, he killed them all.
During Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, it was Steve Rogers.
It's basically a what if series.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's its own standalone.
But aren't they based off the same formula? There's
No.
creation.
Well, no. Are you trying to say that the Weapon X program and the Super Soldier program were identical in a sense?
Yeah, because X-Men, where you find out that Wolverine, Captain America, and Black Widow all knew each other from World War II. And they were all based on the same.
Yeah, the Super Soldier program.
Yeah.
Well,
I think Weapon X kind of got retconned to become a constituent of what the Super Soldiers program was, because everybody failed with after Cap, everybody was just failing. Isaiah Bradley, like all these additional characters failed to be Captain America until they found him and revived him. And during that time, I think Weapon X was being probably built when they revived. And then later on is when they started figuring out, well, we can't do the same thing that they did. We can take mutant properties and create our own super soldier that way. And that's why Wolverine, that's the Weapon X project, is all based out of mutants. It's not based out of creating the ultimate soldier, right? It wasn't done by, it's done by a government agency, but it wasn't done by like the government.
Yeah, they were government funded.
Yeah. Black Ops.
Yeah.
Shit.
Sure. What's the dude's name?
Stryker. William Stryker.
Sorry.
Put some respect on that name.
Captain William Stryker. Why is it not Colonel America? Why is it Captain America or Major America?
Because Captain sounds cooler.
I know.
2, you start getting into like majors and colonels and all that. They don't do nothing.
Yes, that's fair. That's fair.
We understand this.
Yeah. Don't want to offend people.
I'm going to offend people.
It's Deadpool.
All right. Anyway, so Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
Yes.
Ends out with Deadpool jumping the panel and killing the writing team.
Yes. Yes. He goes through, because that was the whole thing, was like the build up to get to Man-Thing. So it creates that portal. It's like Man-Thing understood what he was doing, accepted it, killed himself,
right?
And he gets to jump through, and then he comes up on the writing team.
Right. It's a good ending.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I hate the fact that they did a 2. I thought that was stupid.
I haven't read that one.
Yeah, don't. It's not really worth it.
It doesn't make sense though. But it's the popularity thing.
Yeah.
They'll run it into the ground.
Oh, yeah. Marvel.
Yep.
So, but again, just the amount of storyline, again, because we're trying to cover his origins, and throughout all these volumes, throughout all these side stories and everything, they allude back to his origin, and it's always different. It's always something a little bit tinkered with.
Yes.
It's like the Joker.
Well, it's pretty much every comic book character at this point that they tinker around with.
Well, I think it's because they get in so far and they're like, ooh, remember back there? That was supposed to happen, so we'll fix that. I really think that's what happens with retcons. They just forget what they did 20 years ago, and they're like, dagnabbit, we gotta fix that.
Yeah.
We'll just do it this way.
But so origins, talking about the Marvel Kills Universe and all that, and then the popularity of the movies. One spawned number 2, obviously, and now we have number 3. The amount of popularity and just mainstream that you get from that, you get a lot more people, like you said, that know him They start reading the comic books. They start dressing up in cosplay. It's become more of, I don't want to say a household name, but it's one of those. It's one of those characters that you could throw. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Because I wonder, before when people watched Deadpool 1, before Deadpool 2 came out, you showed them a picture of Cable. Would they know who Cable was?
I guarantee you not. I guarantee you not. The popularity with Deadpool captured the casual fan, because you explained it yourself. People saw the movie and then started reading the comics.
Yeah.
So, of course,
it's kind of like others, like, you know, the Harry Potter series, Game of Thrones, all that stuff. People watch the show and they're, oh, I'm going to go read the books.
And then are super disappointed.
Yeah. Because they're so different.
Yes. Because even with the movies, I think they really kind of touched on the fact that his background is such a mystery, really. We have so much information about his background, but none of it makes sense. It's explained completely out of order. It's like a Pulp Fiction movie as a comic book.
That's fair.
But
once again, it goes back to the type of character he started out as. He started out
to be a nothing.
Exactly. Started out as just this villain they were going to throw at Cable, and then he got popular, and they're like, okay, we need to go back in time and figure out his origins. So they start piecing together origins, and he remains mysterious. I keep going back to the same thing, but Wolverine is the same way.
Yeah.
You know, they basically made Wolverine a blank slate because he lost his memory during Weapon X. Then they could just backfill it at that point, and he doesn't know any better, and they could always come back and say, oh, well, he's been alive for the last 200 years, you know, so he was doing this and he was doing this, but he doesn't remember any of that, so we can tell the story and he doesn't remember.
Right. So it gives you so much freedom with the character.
I think at one point, wasn't he in World War II?
He was, and what they put in origins was he was by the time X-Men.
Did you just?
I was just about to make the point that it was so funny how we've tiptoed around X-Men Origins Wolverine, and freaking Cowboy Cody had to bring it up. The other thing that we really before we go any further, because we talked about history and background and all that, there's something really important about his background that we didn't touch on at all. And it's one of the things that made him enemy number one for Thanos for the longest time.
Oh, you're right.
The only character to actually swoo death.
That is true. He did. Because Thanos was in love with Death. Death would have nothing to do with him. And that's part of the reason why he did the Infinity Gauntlet. Mm-hmm. He wanted to prove to her that he was worthy of her affection. All the while, Deadpool gets it. Because, I mean, it's Deadpool. And he can't die, and, you know, and he tries.
Yep.
So
he tried to get Hulk to kill him.
Yeah, he tried
several times.
He's tried all kinds of things.
Yep.
And Death reciprocated that love, and Thanos couldn't stand it. Thanos could not stand it.
Isn't she a part of the reason why his healing factor became what it was, so he could never die?
No, Thanos did that.
Oh, it was. Yeah, he cursed him.
Yes,
he cursed him.
Thanos cursed him.
That's right. Okay.
That was his thing, because I think at one point, I think he did die, and Thanos cursed him, brought him back, and basically made it to where he was almost immortal, so he could never die.
That's it. Okay.
So that was his whole thing. It's like, you know, if I can't have her, you can't have her type thing.
So this is got her.
Yeah.
But anyway, so back to we'll bring Cowboy Cody back in and talk about that god awful.
But
oh god, it was so bad.
But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Deadpool 2.
Okay, let's not even remotely say that is a redeemable freaking gambit. I don't care.
Let's talk about this real quick. Those timelines don't exist anymore because Deadpool went back. Remember, he got Cable's time thing.
So is that so? Okay, all right. Really quick theory for Deadpool 3. So him going and taking Cable's time traveling device.
Yeah.
Is that how those universes got pruned?
Yeah, if you watch the movie, he goes back and he kills the Deadpool in Origins, and then he kills Green Lantern.
Oh, he kills Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah, well, before he made Green
Yeah.
Lantern. Sorry, my bad. There was another one. What was the third one?
He went after Baby Hitler.
No.
Didn't he go after Baby Hitler? I swear he did.
But it was something to do with the timelines. It was something to do with the timelines for Wolverine, Deadpool, and just Ryan Reynolds in general. There was something else. The third one, I can't remember what it was. Dang it! Just have to watch the movie and find out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. But yeah, so I mean, that would make a lot of sense, because if he went back and was messing with time so much, the TVA would have come in and tried to prune those realities, and so that's how the Fox universe ends up in the Void.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So issue number 4, we're going to talk about the movies and the theories behind.
Well, at least our running theories going into the movie.
Yeah. So, stay tuned.
But
for
again,
that
let's go ahead and get back on this steaming pile of horse manure that was X-Men Origins Wolverine.
They're supposed to be 300 years old because him and Sabretooth fought in the American Revolution, and they jumped right into Civil War. Then they hit World War I, II, and then they got caught in Vietnam because not Wolverine, but Sabretooth couldn't control itself.
Yep.
And that's when they found out that they couldn't be killed, and Stryker took over.
Terrible movie. Cool story. Like, I think if that script was turned into a comic book,
That'd be great.
it would be awesome.
They could have expanded one.
Oh yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. The guy who played Blob, I can't remember who the actor is. I thought he did fantastic.
He's been in Resident Evil. He was in
The Strain. You ever watch that show, The Strain? That was great. He was the vermin. He was the rat catcher.
He's in something. Oh, he played. He plays one of the apes in the new Planet of the Apes movie.
Does he really?
Yes.
That movie looks great.
He's also the guy that cuts up Dwayne Johnson's chest in Walk the Talk.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Shoot, he is.
Now you gotta look up his name. You gotta look him up.
Now we have to pay this guy some credit, because he's done some junk.
He's doing a lot of movies.
Dude,
He always plays a bad guy though.
usually, yeah,
At least that's what I always see. But I mean, he's a great actor.
he really is.
But he played in one Smoking Aces. He was in that movie.
Kevin Durant. All right. So, the only redeeming quality of X-Men Origins Wolverine was Kevin Durant.
I mean, don't hate me for this, but
You're going to talk about Gambit, and I'm going to throw my coat across the room.
John Connor? Is it John Connor?
No,
He plays
No,
something.
it's Taylor or he's the one who was John Carter.
John Carter, that's what it is. He played John Carter.
So bad. So bad.
He was also in Battleship.
You saw what happened. Yeah, you see what happened to his career.
Well, they thought he was going to
He had one to
take off
begin
after
with.
the Covenant.
Oh, the Covenant was another steaming pile of garbage too.
I will say Battleship wasn't horrible.
Wasn't great either.
It wasn't great, but for a movie made from a board game, it wasn't horrible.
That just shows the thought process of Hollywood at that time. They're like, what are we gonna do? And some guy was in the corner going, "You sink my battleship." He's like, "That's it.
And how do we get Battleship? Aliens.
Yes, they're coming down to this. Was hitting all the ships, and I still think I feel like that same writing team was in the room when they were like, "Hey, we got to make an X-Men Origins Wolverine movie," and they're like, "All right, Jackson, take a dump on the table. Let's get this thing going."
Just work here. So, is that everything we're going to talk about with Origins?
I mean, I like to hope so. Do you have anything that's like really pertinent that we need?
That's what I was going to say.
I think Gambit originally, that was about the time that
No. I would disagree with you. I will edit out everything you say now.
I don't even know what you're saying, but no. It's such a
Go ahead.
terrible one.
Let's hear what you have to say. I will listen for now.
this guy that did Magic Mike. That was about
Channing Tatum.
That was about the time he was wanting to do or start talking about him being Gambit, and I think he was originally supposed to be Gambit as initially being seen as Gambit, and then jump into the movie. Same way with Ryan Reynolds and Origins. He wanted to be Deadpool, so he had to be in Origins. They came Deadpool.
Now, the Ryan Reynolds part of that is very true.
That's very true.
That is very true. He had to do that movie.
But
Gambit, and then they threw him in and just screwed it up.
So I will say this, Ryan Reynolds, but I feel like the public reception for him in that Deadpool, people hated that version of Deadpool. So it's not even about who.
Well, when they found out that it was cast, everybody's like, "All right, we're gonna get all nasty Wade Wilson," and then we got like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, with just he had the quirks and everything, but when they actually made him into Deadpool, he had no mouth.
They never made him into Deadpool. They made him into Baraka from Compact.
That's fair. You're right.
It's the truth.
I had blanked that part out. I completely forgot about that.
Mental block.
Thanks. But it makes sense. Because
why can't they Mandela effect that movie? Why can't that thing disappear?
Oh, man.
It's because Hugh Jackman. No, you can't do that. It's Hugh Jackman. And Ryan Reynolds. You can't make that happen.
I was going to say that the actor that played Sabretooth, I like him as an actor.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he would have played a great Sabretooth. And I think he did for the most part, but they could have made him look more like Sabretooth.
Yeah. I don't think there's a book where he's that clean.
No.
Because he's always just gnarly and always unkept.
Have you seen the teaser trailer for Sabretooth and Deadpool 3? We'll leave it at that.
I loved it.
People have been waiting for this for decades.
Well, I'm glad they finally
You look like a mess. Dude, yeah. When they debuted that suit, man. Yeah. Oh. And if you haven't noticed, like in the first Deadpool and in the second one, his suit cleans. Like it I don't even know what freaking word I'm looking for. It becomes more streamlined. It's not as like the first suit was really like there was a lot of box to it. It was really built out, whereas in Deadpool 2, his costume is way more streamlined.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're like if you in the trailer for Deadpool 3, it's again way more streamlined. I mean, thankfully there's not 17,000 pouches on him, but
Thanks, Rob.
I think there should be a scene where he walks out and it's just like pouches on pouches on pouches, and Wolverine's just like,
oh. No, and he's got like these weird feet.
And the walkout scene
and the big chest.
Did you see the walk? You see in the walkout scene when they're walking around the corner, Layfield's feet is right in the background. That poor guy, he'll never live that down.
So, one more thing about Origins.
You're the one that brought it up as being a good movie.
Well, I mean, it's okay. But so when he climbs the silo and he gets to the top, you can actually see his claws flop.
You just go through the movie looking for all the
bloopers.
It's blatant obvious. You can see it flop.
God, that's so great.
So all right. So here's the thing: we're gonna have a movie night after the whole.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna
do a movie night. We're gonna watch X-Men Origins, Wolverine, and we're gonna go through it. We're gonna write down all the bloopers that we find, and then we're gonna have people look for bloopers, and as they find them, write them down quietly. Don't point them out right then, and then whoever's got the most at the end wins a prize.
What, a copy of X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Sure, let's do it.
Look at what movie we watched.
But not even the disc, but like it's on
just
a thumb
the
drive.
case.
No, it's on a thumb drive. Here you go.
That way you can't. That way people don't know you own it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God. All right. So much like what everybody's done with Deadpool, we've speared off in so many different stupid directions. But casual wasn't supposed to be anything. Became a casual fan favorite. Probably was one of the more influential reasons that comic books came back and started becoming cool again. Was some of Deadpool's books.
The same could be said in it. that tracks for so much nerd things. The reason I say that, look at Dungeons and Dragons. Look at what Stranger Things did for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
Look at what Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool did for Marvel, and then you got the MCU, all of that stuff. It's just that's all it takes is one little thing to begin. Wow, words.
See, I'm just as bad.
To gain popularity, and then it just blows up. Hopefully, it doesn't die though.
We'll see what happens once Deadpool 3 comes out. Now that Disney owns it, and they're having their fair shake at it.
We can't talk about theories though.
No.
So that's issue 4.
Yep.
I think.
But
yes, count them out.
But there's no denying that. Again, a throwaway character has done what it's done for the comic book industry.
Mm-hmm.
To go as far as he's gotten his own video game. He was about to get his own like animated series with Donald Glover as his voice.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Such a missed opportunity because it would have been great.
You know what would be a good crossover? Deadpool and Spawn.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I need some Todd McFarlane when you hear that idea.
Because we know you're going to watch this podcast.
Yes, I'm going to send it to you.
It's going to slide in the DMs,
yeah,
Todd.
buddy.
Oh man, but so there's really not much else we can really talk about with him.
Not really. I mean, we covered a lot of things about him, and I know we rambled on a lot, but
that's
Deadpool.
Yeah, that's basically Wade Wilson, just a bunch of rambling. One of the things we did forget to mention, which is probably another one of the really cool character traits of his, is his multiple voices. Because one of them, we talked about his regeneration factor.
Yeah. One
of them was because he and another individual named Madcap were blown to smithereens, and in their pile of ash, when Deadpool's regeneration factor kicked in, he absorbed parts of Madcap's conscious.
And his, I think his blocks were red, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So he has, but it's really like 3 different bubble colors because he's got yellow, he's got white, and then he's got
because he's got the white of
obscure
what he's
color.
saying, and then he's got the one where he's breaking the 4th wall, and then he's got the Madcap, or the red one. So you're right.
But there's just so much depth to a character that was just there.
I wonder if that's going to be a thing in the future with him.
It better be.
If he like basically everybody he regenerates with, because he did the thing with Cable, he's done a thing with Madcap. Like everybody he regenerates with, if he just gets a part of their personality, and then you hear like different things, kind of like Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue does the same thing when she absorbs powers.
Yep.
So that would be interesting.
Would be. It would be.
Talk about a character.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah.
He can do anything.
Yeah. Be anyone.
He is Marvel's genius. Jesus.
Yes, he is Marvel's Jesus.
All right. So, enough of the rambling. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Only Nerdy Dads podcast, we'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with us for the last 40-ish minutes and listening to us just kind of throw stuff against the wall and
see what stinks.
Having Cody fact check us for most of it.
Thanks, Cody. Thanks, Sugar Bear.
Yeah. Are we sticking with Sugar Bear?
Sugar Bear. He's our Sugar Bear.
No.
Yeah, he's our Sugar Bear. You want to be our Sugar Bear? See?
Cowboy Cody's our Sugar Bear.
So
It sounds so wrong.
Hey, it's on there now.
It is. It's going to be on the internet forever.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. We hope you have a wonderful day.
Be safe. See you guys.